Welcome to Malaysia, the exotically beautiful country located in Southeast Asia. The highly anticipated, prestigious Malaysia Mountain Trail Festival returned better than ever in December 2021 for its fourth edition after the 2020 event was held virtually due to the COVID pandemic. The centre of all the action for this three-day ultra-trail running event was, as always, Taiping, in the state of Perak. The town, with its pristine, naturally wild and unique beauty, provides the perfect setting for such an event as it leads the ambitious participants through magnificent forests, jungles and well-designed, challenging routes. The state of Perak is located in the northwest peninsula of Malaysia, with Taiping being one of the most historic cities in the world. What's more, it's also one of the three most sustainable cities in the world, making it a must-visit destination. So the return of the Malaysian Mountain Trail Festival made not just local runners eager to visit Taiping, but also a large contingent of overseas athletes were excited about coming to the city to compete in the heart of the town at Esplanade Taiping by the iconic Lake Garden. Malaysia Mountain Trail Festival 2021, the first ultra trail race to be organised after the pandemic, was co-organised by Forestry Department of Perak and the MMTF consultant.
Malaysia Mountain Trail Festival, MMTF, was first organised in 2018, and this is the fourth year the Perak State Forestry Department is organising in collaboration with the MMTF consultant. The participants of this event are not only taking part in sporting event, but they also get to enjoy the scenery and atmosphere of natural forest in Perak as it showcases the diversity of our flora.
The support from all of the involved parties was of significant importance for the organisers, as the event's executives only had a month and a half to make everything set and ready to be approved by the authorities. The fact that they made it happen was a miracle, demonstrating what can be accomplished with hard work and desire.
Normally I would have like 9 months. The team will have 9 months to pull off the event. This year we have got to squeeze everything within 1.5 months, 1.5 months, and that is inclusive of getting the respective approvals as well.
This internationally recognised race is certified by the International Trail Running Association and is one of the qualifying races for UTMB. Moreover, it is the first and only International Skyrunning Federation certified course label in Malaysia and just the second in the Southeast Asian region. Considered one of the toughest events in the world, the Malaysian Mountain Trail Festival is made up of 4 different distance challenges. The 84-kilometre race is the pinnacle event, pushing participants to their limits, while there are also 50-kilometre, 25-kilometre and 16-kilometre races, which are more accessible for amateur runners who want to test themselves and see what they're capable of.
This event is actually for everyone. It's not only for the elites runner, it's for the running community. We love to introduce our trails, the Malaysian trails as we call it, or the Malaysia trail running scene to the world at large. and I believe everyone actually play a part in it. Not just myself or my team, but then it's a collective effort by all the runners. The support that we get at the end of the day is, priceless. It's driven by the passion for trail running. That's the first thing. Secondly, is because we would like to use this race to introduce the trails here in Taiping to the world, and also to make Taiping a hiking destination and also a trail running destination.
You need to challenge yourself. When you go to the trail, you prepare to fall down. It is common, but the satisfaction when you can hit the target and you conquer the trail. I like challenges, I like adventures, so this is a good course, and most important is one thing, the safety, the direction, the marking, I can say thumbs up. So you don't have to worry about your loss. That's why I want to rate this race is almost 10, perfect.
The race was oversubscribed as the number of participants were restricted by the authorities, so a total of 1,449 runners from 28 different countries registered for the 2021 edition, showing that the MMTF was indeed one of the most awaited sporting events. The event followed public health protocols, and all the participants were subjected to strict testing procedures so that everyone could enjoy a safe race. It was clear that all the athletes were eager to hit the race courses, no matter the weather conditions.
It's very nice to be here in Taiping, Perak, to be running in this MMTF race, which is historically a very well organized race. After such a long time of being indoors due to the pandemic, it's nice to finally see everyone again, albeit with the new SOPs in place, but it looks like it's going to be a very well organized event again for this year. So I'm looking forward to it.
I meet my friend, was 2 years already. Some changing already, some become fat already, some become very fit because during the MCO, some really push himself to prepare for this race, because I believe this is the first physical race of the year, 2021. I think everyone is also excited, not only me.
This year, the runners would face an elevation gain of up to 4,610 metres, but this number doesn't tell you the whole story. It's steep at times, it's narrow, it's wet, it's pure rainforest, and the secret of success is that the organisers tested all of the routes in order to make them the best ones for the competitors that want to conquer the jungle in its wildest conditions.
When I dreamt of doing this race in 2015, it took us 3 years to prepare the trails. And in 2017, we actually ran the course at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., just to simulate and to understand what is it like inside. So we could understand how the runner feels in a certain time of the day.
Finally, the time had come for all the exciting action to start. The enthusiasm was obvious on the faces of each and every athlete who couldn't wait to compete. Both young and old, they all shared the exact same level of anticipation.
I've been running for more than 10 years. I'm about 60 years old. I've done full marathon, but hiking, I just have about 2 years experience, but hiking is a lot more fun because every terrain is different. You smell the nature. Every time you go to the same place, but you take a picture, it's different feel. When you hike, it's a different feel. Every journey is the same journey, also it feels different. So good.
The typically rainy conditions in the state of Perak had an impact on this year's event, and especially the 16-kilometre race, but the organising committee acted fast in order to secure the safety of everyone. The event team took the decision to reroute the Freshman Challenge 8 hours before the flag-off, owing to the fact that the trails between Burmese Pool to SBS were deemed unpassable by the race director. The Freshman Run, the 16-kilometre race, is considered suitable for beginners. It had to be rerouted at the 11th hour for the safety of all the runners, owing to the fact that the original route was damaged by the prolonged rain during the race weekend. However, the level of performances showed just what the MMTF can offer spectators and participants. The first man to finish the race was Mohd Fadl, who was victorious after crossing the line in a time of 1 hour 12 minutes and 5 seconds. In the women's category, it was Tegan Paul who claimed victory, and her story is unique. A new mother, she admitted that there was probably no better preparation than having to run constantly after her baby. Practice is useful in any form, even if it's a family affair.
It's my first time racing ever. It was awesome, it's so well organised, the trail was really interesting. For me, the river crossing was the most fun. I didn't really train, I just run after my baby all day and that keeps me fit.
The 25-kilometre race returned with a 90% new course for the 2021 edition, and this raised the bar of difficulty higher. It was Amir Zaki bin Amran who finished first among the men after 4 hours 9 minutes and 39 seconds, while in the women's category, Lim Sao Ai was by far the best, finishing almost 15 minutes in front of her nearest rival.
Of course, I felt that it's like, wow, finally a relief. Then I'm very happy because I managed to completed the race before my expected timing, because I was expecting like 5 hours plus minus. So I completed in 4 hours 20 over minutes. So I feel like, okay, at least my training really helps a lot, and it brings me a lot of like result lah, I would say, yeah.
The adventure was endless at the 2021 Malaysia Mountain Trail Festival, as all its participants had the chance to observe some hidden gems of Taiping. The rainy weather conditions made the landscapes even more epic and the experiences even more thrilling. What makes MMTF more than any other race is the level of camaraderie and fair play created during the race by the athletes. It's not only the other participants who are cheering, but also the locals show their utmost respect for the athletes. Such support is required when you feel that you can't make it any further.
I must say, I wasn't prepared at all for the muddy part, you know. And when you start a bit slippery. At one point I thought if it's going to be like that for the whole race, it's going to be difficult. But then you appreciate people are just, you know, around us, cheering, encouraging. So at one point, of course, I knew that there was this big steep uphill before the going down to the final step. So this one I was a bit wondering how I would be in which health, but it was okay at the end.
The 50-kilometre race, which has been certified by the International Skyrunning Federation, is incredibly demanding and technical, really testing the athletes, particularly in the challenging weather conditions. The level of performances, however, were high, and in the end it was Frenchman Pierre-Victor Morales who prevailed in the men's category, with the Sumping brothers also making an impact. In the women's side, Halimatan Sadaya managed to grab victory.
It was quite tough. The run was very well organized, people very welcoming. But reaching the final step and being the second veteran was really, really nice. All the different sceneries, different landscape. You start in the lake garden, then you go up hills and jungles, and you go down, you've got some nice views, even see the sea, the atmosphere.
Saya masuk pukul 9, finish pukul 9 malam jugalah. Dan saya dapat placing nombor 10 daripada itulah. So saya dapat top 10. Saya memang happy lah sebab ni first event saya. Terus masuk tadi saya terus macam nak nangis. Macam tu lah.
Of course, the pinnacle event for the 2021 Malaysia Mountain Trail Festival was the 84-kilometre race, a serious test of physical and mental strength. The winners of the race would also be crowned Malaysia Trailmaster Champions, a prestigious title. The discipline is also the most indicative regarding the event's promo, which is lose your mind, discover your soul. In order to complete such a tough race in such challenging weather conditions, you truly need to discover your soul through an inner fire burning inside.
I will say that you have more on willpower. More on willpower. The last few 10 kilometers plus is the willpower. You have to keep on moving. Keep on moving. Even though you have not enough time. Like the 50 kms now, they are going down already. They are very tired. Maybe they can't reach at the time to COT. But if you complete it, at least you find your soul. You know what you're doing here.
Today, after the 34 km CP5, I'm thinking of am I going up the big hill, and it's gonna be twice of this big hill. But just like I promised myself, discover soul. So yeah, and like I have to do it.
The men's category included some great names of the trail running scene, and everyone was eager to see the battle between the 2018 winner David Simpat and Wilson Singin, another main favourite. They managed to turn the race into a fascinating duel from the start. Finally, Wilson though dropped David on the first descent of Maxwell Hill, and after that he never looked back, finishing in 10 hours, 59 minutes and 46 seconds, an impressive performance. The extremely skilled Japanese runner Hisashi Kitamura also participated, finishing in 4th. In the women's race, Azar Hazara ran solo in the lead for nearly the entire race, taking the tape after 14 hours, 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Adelina Lintang tried to catch Hazara, but she had to settle for second ahead of the improving Celeste Teo. For Azar Hazara, this was her second MMTF victory after winning in 2018.
It's a bit hard sebab macam start dah hujan and then start lari dia getting heavier. So trail jadi lagi licin. Actually memang expected trail lecak sebab day before dah lecak. Bila hujan tu badan sejuk, so I placing macam not not rushing lah. So after dah tak hujan macam body okay sikit. I for second half I go.
The 2021 Malaysia Mountain Trail Festival didn't just offer spectacular action, but it also threw up some unique stories. The message of never giving up and always chasing your goals was an important one, with competitors of all ages showing that the passion never fades and it helps mask the pain of climbing up and down the wet jungle trails.
Saya sudah 50 tahun. Okey, nak beritahu kawan-kawan itu kalau you nak senaman, nak buat trail, kita tak kira apa-apa umur.
The event was once again remarkably successful, with 926 athletes finishing out of the 1,239 who eventually hit the starting line. Based on the test nature had thrown at the competitors, all the runners should be congratulated and rewarded for challenging themselves in such a way. MMTF is a demanding race and considered as one of the toughest in the world, gaining in its reputation each year. Every newcomer should consider joining the race, but before making the decision, they should take into account the advice given by seasoned veterans and other athletes who've completed the race.
I feel, for example, I'm talking about 100 kilometer. You don't go just straight away sign and go in. You need to start from stage by stage. For example, I start my trail running since 2015. Imagine a 6 year in the trail. For the first 2 years, I focus on short trail. Means I do mainly 16, 10, 20 kilometers, that's all. Then the next another years, then I upgrade to intermediate race, and after I accumulate all the experience, then only I move to the longer distance. We call ultra distance. That's why I advise all the trail runner, all the new beginner, stage by stage. Don't straight away go to ultra, but start by slowly move to the next stage. First thing, why? Prevent injury. Because one time you injury, you need to call off from the training for a long time. So this is very important.
The organisers are trying their best to improve the event year after year. That's why, in 2022, MMTF will welcome 2 new features that are destined to take the competition and adventure to another level. A 100-kilometre race will be offered for the first time, and many of the athletes are already looking forward to it.
Discover your soul. Good lang.
The other significant new feature will be the vertical kilometre, a race with 1,000 metres of climbing over variable terrain with a substantial incline not exceeding 5 kilometres in length. The only way is up for the MMTF, and the biggest aspiration for all of those involved is to make Taiping a beloved trail running destination. The innovations will never stop as the race executives have the next step on their minds.
This race is all about the community around it. We hope to do more, maybe in other states. For now, this race will stay in Taiping as we are moving towards the next phase. And that is to create a hiking trail out of the race track. Just like those trails in Europe, and make Taiping a trail running destination.
Okay, all the best.
I leave you with an inspiring quote by Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. With Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I officially close the 4th edition Malaysia Mountain Trail Festival MMTF 2021. Once again, thank you, terima kasih for your presence and attention. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The Malaysia Mountain Trail Festival returned in 2021 and was a blast. It brought back what it promised: pure adventure, testing of sporting limits, great performances, sweat and tears of joy. The 2022 edition is already under preparation with the utmost level of enthusiasm. Everyone can once more discover their soul.